Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Gadget Gurus podcast. I'm your host, Mobile Mike, and join with me, I've got Vic Webb. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Just playing around with this Nexus 6 and Project Fi.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear your thoughts about that because since switching to iOS, I haven't really gotten to mess with any of that Android-y stuff lately. So.
All right, no problem.
Okay. So Nick may or may not join us. We don't know. So we're just gonna ride dynamic duo style for right now. Lot of really cool nerdy shit came out of Comic-Con, and that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Vic, you got anything on the agenda you want to go over?
Maybe just Comic-Con stuff, man. It's always good. Talking about some of this superhero stuff, some of the geek culture. That's what we're here for.
I did want to at least kind of mention before we get into Comic-Con, because that's going to be the majority of the conversation, is the Microsoft Nokia write-off news. I think that's a pretty big telling piece of info right there. So, Microsoft bought Nokia just over a year ago, $7.2 billion, and that was $5 billion and change was for the hardware phone business, and the other leftovers was for like patents and other miscellaneous stuff. And they just recently wrote off a loss of $7.8 billion and are laying off a whole bunch of people. I think it was like over 7,000 people. So, that really sucks for those people that are losing their jobs. I don't know if they're mostly executives or I don't know. Microsoft's huge, so they could very well have like 7,000 executives in one division. But pretty telling for the future of Windows Phone and the future of Microsoft hardware. What do you think? Since you've been such a Microsoft dude lately, what's your thoughts?
Man, I think it's not as dire for Windows Phone, I don't believe, because realistically, Microsoft might just be taking the smart route now, doing like the Surface and just saying, hey, we're going to release like a flagship phone maybe once a year, once every 2 years, and it is what it is, and just let the OEMs be the ones who build out other devices. So, it's not like they're going to go with Nokia and try to do all this, or I should say, be like Nokia and try to come up with all these different devices for different, price ranges and all that kind of stuff, different market stuff. Just one flagship device, everybody else handle it, and you don't need a full staff for that.
I don't know. I think it sends a really bad message for Windows Phone in general. I mean, you say, oh, one flagship a year, but I mean, shit, when was the last time we've seen a legit Nokia flagship phone? It's been a year that Microsoft has had them, and they haven't come out with a Microsoft branded.
Yeah, Microsoft's waiting till Windows Phone 10 or Windows 10 phone or Windows 10 whatever. Windows 10 for the phone comes out. That's what they're waiting for, man. They're not. It's like there's no point right now. Windows Phone 8 is pretty much dead. It's dead in the water. Developers aren't creating anything for it. There's no freaking point of wasting your money, your resources on that. So, smart thing to do, Microsoft's doing, is saying, hey, now we got Windows 10 coming out. We got the whole universal, the ability to easily build universal apps across different platforms, the ability to like code pretty much one major code and then do slight modifications to target the different platforms and stuff like that. It's like now's the time. Now's like the push. They push Windows 10. They get that excitement for Windows 10, Windows 10 tablet, and it'll all trickle down to the phone. At this point, it'll be like developers develop something for Windows 10, Windows 10 tablet, and then like, let me go ahead and compile this for the phone as well. Maybe do some slight UI tweaks, and that's about it. So
Yeah, you're way more optimistic than me. I think it's dead.
See, man,
I'll be really surprised if we see a Microsoft branded phone, flagship phone. I still think they're gonna dick around in the low end and in the mid range.
If they ever come up with one flagship device and see how it goes, if Windows 10 doesn't go anywhere, they're like, you know what?
Didn't they have a Surface phone like ready to go? I could have sworn there was a Surface phone like ready to roll, and then they pulled back on it.
Maybe. I don't know. How long ago was that?
Shit, I think we heard first news of a Surface phone like over 6 months ago. I thought it was.
6 months ago? Oh well, that's probably it. And maybe it'll come out of the Surface Phone with Windows 10 this fall.
Mm, mm, mm.
Once again, dude, there's no point of releasing Windows 8 devices, especially with carrier BS. You don't have to worry about going through all that crap with carriers. Try to get it's a mess, man. So the best thing to do is to wait until the new OS comes out, get everything going from there, push your resources there, and then see what happens.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm not optimistic. That's for sure. Um, Trying to think if there's any like tech related news we could talk about. Well, talk to me about Project Fi real quick before we get into Comic Con. Let's get our nerdy phone stuff out of the way.
I mean, I can't talk too much about Project 5. I just got the SIM card today, so.
Well, just let us know like what is it? What's the plan?
Well,
How does it
Project 5
work?
is a pretty cool plan. For basically $20 a month, you get unlimited text and data, or excuse me, unlimited texting and calls, and then data is 10,000 gigabyte. So right now, since it's not my main phone, I just got the 1 gig. I got 1 gig of data on there, and it's $30 per month.
How
Um,
much data do you use on your main device? Do you know?
it fluctuates, depends on if I'm traveling or stuff like that, but anywhere from like a couple gigs to like 20 gigs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm traveling, I'll just watch like a ton of Netflix and stuff like that, so I'll destroy that data.
Do you have who do you have? You still use T-Mobile?
Of course, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Got that unlimited. Got that unlimited.
What else will they use, man? Freaking Sprint. Oh god.
No.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
not unless you want actual. I was talking to somebody the other day about Sprint. I was like, because a buddy of mine he used to work for Sprint, and he was like, it was terrible. So confusing trying to explain stuff to people. And I was like, well, think about it. I mean, like Sprint had CDMA, and then they bought Nextel, and then they had iDen, and then they had CDMA and iDen simultaneously, and then some phones even had both the walkie-talkie and then the phone ran on the
Yeah.
CDMA network, and then that failed. And then they decided to do like 4G when that became a thing, and it was WiMAX. And then they tried to go all out with WiMAX, it didn't really work. And then they tried to do, their own LTE, which isn't like panning out really, really well. And it's just like they have such
Uh,
a
yeah.
fragmented network. It's like how I mean,
I mean, WiMAX, I mean, I'm not going to blame them for that. They had to do that because they had to have a 4G solution. I think by the time WiMAX came out as part of the whole Nextel acquisition. So they were kind of screwed. Since LTE wasn't finalized at that point, they had to do something, which is why they spun it off to that clear,
yeah,
is it
it was clear,
clear,
which was
yeah.
garbage. Oh my god, I
That's
had
what,
a clear modem that they sent me for review, and I mean, this was years
I
ago.
think I remember that. I think I remember
Oh,
that.
it was so bad. I couldn't get it to connect anywhere. And it
Dude, man.
showed I had all right coverage. 1 or 2 bars. It wasn't like the greatest thing in the world. It was just oh my god, it was trash. It was so
Oh
bad.
yeah. Well, there's nothing they could do too. Clear didn't have the money to really expand, so it was dead in the it was dead out of the water, man.
You mean dead in the water,
Or dead in the water. Sorry about that.
or
Yeah,
dead in the water, and someone dragged it out of the water, tried to give it mouth to
yeah.
mouth, and
So
they
now it's dead out of the water. Fair enough.
it's dead
But
in.
no. Overall, then let's go back to Project Five, man. So as I said, with the payment plan, it's pretty cool. So you get refunded for the data you don't use. So let's say if I'm on like the 10 gig plan, I'll use like 300 megabytes. They give you like 700 or $7 back. So you only pay for the data you use, which is like a really cool feature. It's designed to switch between Sprint and or Sprint, T-Mobile, and Wi-Fi calling. So basically, it'll connect to whichever network's the strongest and allows you to make your calls through there, texts through there, and of course, data will always prefer Wi-Fi over the other options. I mean, Wi-Fi calling is set to prefer Wi-Fi as well, but according to how they worded it in there.
Do you know which network it's on? Is there any kind of indicator? Or
I was trying to download some tools to do that automatically, but sadly, there really is no indicator I can
I
find
mean,
yet.
I think
So
it's a good idea for like normal people. They don't need to know.
yeah,
But but uh but I mean it'd just be interesting to see like where it's obviously if you're on Wi-Fi, but I mean it'd be interesting to see when it switches. Have you had any issues like I know you just got it, so you probably don't haven't played with it too much, but have you had any issues with it switching networks or kind of hopping from tower to tower?
no, it's pretty seamless. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what network is connected to, which should be easy if I can freaking find. I'm still going through these apps and settings. If I can find the frequency, then I can determine if it's on Sprint or T-Mobile. But for now, or at least, or actually, no, I might be able to find these cell. I don't know, man. I'll figure it out. Eventually, hopefully. But yeah, I was trying to determine what network it's on, and the only thing I really see is
you could probably just
it does say GSM, so I'm assuming T-Mobile.
You can always just do a speed test, and then whatever is 256K, you're on Sprint.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
Like, damn, my data speeds are really bad right now. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is it's what you said, $20 a month, and then $10 for each gig.
Yeah.
And it's unlimited talk and text, and then now. So what happens if you, let's say you pay $30 and you have 1 gig and you go over that 1 gig? Is there an easy way, like on the fly?
It just charges you for the data you use. So if you go over like a gig and then you use like 525 megabytes, they'll just charge you $5.25 for the overage.
Okay, so you put like a credit card on file and it just kind of bills it at the end of the month, or how's that work?
Yeah, I think so. At the end of the month is how it works. It seems.
Okay, and right now it's only available for the Nexus 6, right?
Yeah, because the Nexus 6 is the only one they set up to handle that intelligent switching.
Gotcha. In your opinion, do you ever think this will come to non-Nexus devices?
I mean, assuming Google gets serious about it and is a service that I don't know is profitable for them in terms of, like, I guess, grabbing that cellular data and determining if they could really make use of knowing people's call history, texts, all that kind of stuff to better target them when advertising. Then of course this is going to go to other devices.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting idea. I think it's cool. I mean, it could obviously get expensive. I think there's a particular market for it. I mean, you figure you use like T-Mobile, was it like $80 for unlimited for a single line? So I mean, that's let's see. So you would have to use 20. So you'd have to use 6 gigs or more to make that $80 worth it versus plus taxes. Now, how does the taxes situation work? Is it like a prepaid thing where you're only paying sales tax, or do you pay like telecom tax like a regular?
They say taxes are around like 4 to 8% or something like that. So. Oh,
so it's real low. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Actually, no, excuse me, 10 to 20%. 10 to 20%.
Oh, okay. So that's normal. So you probably would just pay the normal. Excuse me.
So I figured it out too. I'm on T-Mobile right now. I just went to what'smyipaddress.com.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Probably because I'm dumb. All right. Okay. Well, let's roll. I mean, you got anything else on that?
Other than that, it has international calling, so it's similar to T-Mobile's international plan, 120 countries, unlimited data, unlimited text, and then discounted calls. Of course, if you do Wi-Fi, then it's same policy as before through Wi-Fi calling. But other than that, yeah, that's a really cool international option, which is really good. Really cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's about it for the text stuff, really. I mean, I'm just sorry, I was trying to send a text. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's really anything crazy going on in text.
Yeah, no, this is kind of like a lull. I'm glad we're branching out from just tech stuff lately, because it seems like when there's no tech stuff, there's a ton of like movie, comic, TV show news, and Comic-Con is just packed with really, really cool stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what to start with. Did
DC then Marvel, I guess, right away.
All right. That's a good idea. So DC, they did a Suicide Squad. Now, I will admit, I know I've talked about Suicide Squad on the podcast before, and I've said that it's going to be just a steaming pile of shit, or whatever else I said about it. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I remember being rather negative about it. And I have to say, after seeing the trailer, I am 100% in. I am. My tune has changed. I'm putting my foot in my mouth. I'm reversing. it looks, if it's half as good as the trailer makes it seem like it's going to be, um, I'm sold, man. But did you see? You obviously you saw the trailer.
Of course, man. See, okay, now I don't know, man. I guess when it comes to the cinematic universe, now you can chop me up as a DC fanboy from what I'm seeing from the latest stuff. Now, first of all, I told you guys that Suicide Squad was going to be awesome. I mean, for the most part, all they really had to do was just do a live action version of Assault on Arkham.
That's basically from the
movie.
trailer. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Team gets put together. Harley turns on the team. Joker gets out. Havoc ensues.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be exactly the same, but it also follows that same idea. You already get the groundwork laid out that was successful as hell. I knew this movie was going to be good from the get go. Really, just came down to casting. I'm telling you, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn.
I was
good.
always behind Leto as Joker because he's kind of like tall and stringy, and he's a really good actor. So I think I would never really had any doubts about him playing that role. I guess I was just more so worried about the movie as a whole. But I really like the direction that the trailer took, and it's really dark. Like the music and Harley Quinn talking and just the things that she's saying, and it was just really, really cool. And that's one thing I'll say for DC is that they do their animated movies are fantastic.
Mhm.
They're just really, really good, and they're dark. There's cussing, there's death. There's people getting shot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
I mean, some
blood.
of the recent
It's
ones weren't the best, but what they want to point out, they're all better. They do the worst DC animated movies are better than the best Marvel animated movies.
absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I mean, I watch them and I like them all. Like, there's obviously some are better than the others, but even the new Batman vs Robin, I'd give a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 all day.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it didn't follow the storyline. If people read the comics, it didn't follow the Court of Owls exactly. But I mean, what's if you're going to fit an entire year worth of comics in a 90-minute movie,
yeah.
uh,
You gotta be
and
realistic.
and they tied in Damian Wayne and all that stuff too. So it was I liked it. I thought it was cool. But what do you think? I was listening to the Screen Rant, and they were talking about the Suicide Squad being possibly rated R. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think so. I think that's a long shot.
I think you know what yeah. I mean, it'll be nice. I mean, I would prefer it rated R, but yeah. I mean, I want this to go with. I'll say a 70% chance it's going to be PG-13. I mean, it's possible it can get R. Possible, but since they're trying to get that broad audience, yeah, it's more likely going to probably hit it. It's going to hit like a hard PG-13.
And I didn't catch this, but did the Batman scene where Batman's on top of like Joker's Lamborghini or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's a flashback.
Oh, really? Huh,
That's
I
what
didn't
I
know that.
heard. Yeah, I was reading somewhere in a trailer analysis that it's a flashback scene. It's not. It's not like and that's one thing I think that DC is doing that's cool is where Marvel built up their cinematic universe by taking a lot of characters we didn't know about. Their main franchises were kind of already all over the place.
Yeah.
X-Men and a lot of the characters like
Spider-Man.
Wolverine and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So they kind of took Iron Man, who at the time was kind of a very uh, unknown,
Let's
to
see.
to
I
the
will probably
normal
put them,
characters.
probably categorize them as maybe a B minus, probably C listed character.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Avengers were always a big part of Marvel Comics, but unless you were a comic book person, you wouldn't really care too much about Iron
Yeah.
Man. And um, uh, you know, uh, they did a really good job of basically piecing together a universe by telling multiple origin stories and then having that culminate into the Avengers movie, and then Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel, all of Marvel's movies are basically an origin story, followed by a sequel, followed by a team up, and it's obviously it works really well, and I'm not going to dog
Nah,
on.
argue different there. In terms of like game money, yeah, it works really, really well. But in terms of like cohesive storytelling, well, There's a
Well, I
lot of
mean,
stuff.
you think about it, they've done what is it like 12 movies so far since
Yeah.
2007? I mean, they've done a pretty damn good job, and all the movies have been good. None of them have been like just dog shit. There's obviously some that are better than others, and some I don't like as much as others. But for the most part, they're all, if we're doing a out of 10 scale, they're all 6 and above easily.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. The one thing I'm just saying is with this current phase, and I think they're doing a better job of locking things down. And phase 3, I think, it's going to be where the bar is going to be reset again in terms of Marvel, the whole cinematic shared universe type deal. So DC and Marvel will have a strong run, I believe, once Marvel gets to phase 3. But phase 2, man, it's just like you have these solo movies that does very little to capitalize upon what happened in the first Avengers, outside of just referencing it. It's the off chance, like, Iron Man 3 is like, oh, and once again, this is just building a limitation of things like contracts and stuff like that. And, they can't have freaking Cap America, act for Cap and Thor come in to Iron Man 3 because it's just too much money and stuff like that. So, I mean, they fixed a lot of that with the new contracts and stuff like that. But in the end, it's just like a lot of things that just doesn't make sense to happen. Like, you go to Iron Man 3, it's like, realistically, the Avengers, or at least somebody from the Avengers, most likely Cap should at least been there to help out or something like that. You go into Thor, which kind of gets away with it because they're in Asgard. But then you go to
I don't know.
America.
I think Thor is the one that they should have had the Avengers in the most, because they have another realm invading our realm. Like, that's some world-ending shit right there. Like, Iron Man was just like, okay, we just got like, yeah, he's a bad guy.
That happened
he's
pretty
not like
fast,
world-ending bad guy,
But refresh me, that happened pretty fast. So the whole kind of like ending part, right? The world going crazy. I don't think Iron Man Tony will have enough time to react to kind of really get all the way across the world to help him out.
I don't know. As soon as he knew about Malekith or whatever, he could have been like, "Yo, this dude's trying to take over your shit."
True. Yeah. So, or at least try to call him. But man, why does it Tony start picking up his damn phone? Something like that. But yeah. It's just like, and then you go to Cap too, and damn well there should have been some Tony and them should have been involved in that one. Thor was still
that one made the most sense why they didn't have anyone, because it was such a time of like untrust where Captain was like kind of isolated from everyone and didn't know really who to trust in that situation. Maybe having like Hawkeye or somebody close to Shield, but like Thor's in Asgard doing his own thing.
I mean, I understand like Thor. No, he was back in Asgard at the time, I believe. But
Tony Stark is off dealing with his own shit.
Tony is kind of like in the know. I mean, he infiltrated Shield's system, so you're telling me that Tony Stark didn't place something in there, or didn't find out about something that was wrong that he should. I mean, Tony most likely, I think, would have figured that something was going on that, or would have found out something was going wrong after the whole Hydra build and stuff like that. It's just like not necessarily trusting him fighting alongside Cap, but it should have been like kind of involved towards the end. And once again, Hawkeye wasn't there, Black Widow wasn't there, Shield agents. I mean, they technically should have been there, in my opinion. I mean, this whole thing.
Black Widow was in Cap too.
Black Widow, yeah, I'm talking about that, but Hawkeye.
Hawkeye wouldn't, but yeah.
I'm just over here just rambling.
But anyway, my whole point of that was how Marvel's kind of started from scratch and built these characters up, and I think they've had to do that because the common audience doesn't really know these characters.
Oh, no, yeah.
And DC it looks like with Suicide Squad, and especially with Batman vs. Superman, other than Superman, they're just kind of jumping in. We're not having to sit through an origin story of the Joker, an origin story of Batman, an origin story of Robin.
Freaking Batman's parents dying for the 100th time.
Right. I'm sure that obviously we saw in the trailer, which we'll get to, Batman vs. Superman, that there is a scene in there where it cuts back to that, which, it could just be a 10-second flashback or a 30-second flashback. But
it could be like at the end. It's like, Bruce, so how do you become Batman? Flashback.
Right, like it's one of those things where like we can just hop right in. I think that's really smart for DC to do because obviously the Suicide Squad, they'll probably just give little cameos like kind of like they did in Guardians of the Galaxy, like, oh, that's so and so, and he's a expert marksman, and that's Harley Quinn, that's the Joker's right hand chick, and that's so and so, Killer Croc, and he's a sewer dwelling bad guy. You know what I mean? Like they'll quickly list off these people and their accolades, if you will, for being on the Suicide Squad, but they're not going to have to go through this whole tedious, especially Batman, because we've already, I mean, fuck, we just did a Batman. Obviously, Batman Begins was a long time ago in years, but as far as in, reboots, it's, it's been done recently.
Freaking yeah! Well, all the Batman, I think pretty much every Batman cartoon except for the animated series. I mean, the animated series kind of touched on it, but every other Batman cartoon always does like the whole origin story and stuff like that. And yeah.
Well, the animated series did
it's
really
annoying
good because the animated series brought it back. In different episodes, you kind of got different glimpses into, Bruce Wayne training with ninjas and meeting Ra's al Ghul.
But it's never really focusing on the whole their parents died. It's just like, oh, my parents died, but then I ended up doing this stuff, which helped me become Batman, or I went and met this person, which was a big influence in my life. So yeah, it was
yeah. So
cool
I think they did a good job picking that angle to go at and just kind of hopping into the universe without really having to go through and build up, a giant origin story. Now, obviously, Batman vs Superman might be a little bit different thing. Superman's already had his new origin story, obviously, with Man of Steel. We're going to meet Aquaman. We're going to meet Wonder Woman, and we're going to meet
Wonder Woman will get, and they're going to get. And I know Wonder Woman's getting a solo film, so she'll probably have her origin, which is a good one to touch on because not that many people are familiar with Wonder Woman's origin.
Yeah, and I don't think
it's even really redone for the New 52.
Yeah, I don't think they really even need to, since she's going to cameo in this. I hope they don't follow this up with an origin story. Maybe
they can do an origin story on Wonder Woman, dude. Yeah, because it's not like she gets more powerful by this point. It's like they could definitely do a solo origin film and have her face like one.
But then it's almost like a prequel. Then at that point, and I would hope that they keep it moving.
The biggest thing about the prequels is that when people, in my opinion, when people do prequels and stuff like that, especially let's say around people who grow as individuals, is that especially in terms of capabilities, fighting, it's like you go back to the beginning and they're not as capable. But the thing is, Wonder Woman, I'm pretty sure she's going to be as capable or nearly as capable in the beginning as she is, during Batman versus Superman, because she's going to have hundreds of years of training and stuff like that she's been doing.
Yeah, I don't know. So Batman, I guess we'll move from Suicide Squad. Well, let me ask you, what do you think about the trailer that we saw? What stuck out to you? Anything cool?
The Batman v Superman trailer?
No, the Suicide Squad. Before we move on to off of Suicide Squad, let's close it out.
Oh man, no, the Joker's ending, man. That was good stuff, man. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be sweet. This is gonna be sweet, man. I bet Mike just creamed himself after seeing that.
Yeah. He's got the electrodes, and he's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad.
Yeah.
And another thing that I didn't realize is that his platinum grill, I'm pretending it's platinum, I don't know if it's silver or platinum, but Joker, of course, has got to have a platinum grill, is false teeth because Batman punched all his normal teeth out. Yeah. It's like the story, the animosity between these two characters is just so well known and so well documented that we don't have to learn it all over again. And
it's nice too.
So it's we're gonna pick up where Joker's in Arkham or wherever. In the hole that was thrown away, that's how she described. She's like, I put these people in a hole, then I threw away the hole. So that's where the Joker is. So God knows where they are. And I'm assuming we're going to pick up where, Batman and Joker have already had this long history together, and it kind of ties together. Did you see in the Batman vs Superman trailer? Did you catch the Robin suit that said?
Oh,
it had
Superman.
Yeah, in the Batman vs Superman or Superman vs Batman, is Batman vs Superman? Yeah, Batman vs Superman.
Batman v Superman, yeah.
It has the Robin suit, and it's spray painted or Joker painted. Ha ha ha! Who had the last laugh or something like that?
Ooh.
So
touching the Jason Todd storyline.
Right. So Robin's nowhere around because the Joker's killed him. So we're already getting just a lot
spoiler alerts for anybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many, and there's 8 different Robins, so fuck you guys if you haven't comics.
I wonder if he has Tim Drake during the Batman v Superman, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Joker stuff definitely stood out. And then Harley Quinn, I think she's really going to be the star of that show.
Yeah, of course, just Harley Quinn did. And then the biggest thing I like is just the attention to details. You go back to the whole teeth idea. It's like, yeah, Joker been taking like public and beat down for Batman. So no way this dude's gonna come out, with some fresh teeth or stuff like that. Yeah, this I like how they did that. Just
Yeah, it's
the little
exactly.
ridiculous details to make the universe more realistic. And I get props because Marvel's doing the same thing as well too with like Age of Ultron and Tony like doing the Hulkverse fight, trying to find empty places to fight and using the bots to get people out of the way and stuff like that too. So I like them doing these like little things, especially after the whole deal with Man of Steel and going
Well,
Super Saiyan in Metropolis.
let's jump into that because that was one thing that I did not have a problem with in Man of Steel. There was not one point where I was like, "Oh man, Superman is just wrecking some shit, and all these poor people are dying." Like the way I looked at it was, okay, Superman's got two options. One, he goes all out and brawls with this motherfucker and his army of Kryptonians, and he beats them, and he saves billions of people. Or he just submits and lets them just wipe out humanity and repopulate Earth with Kryptonians, and everyone dies. It's like collateral damage, casualties of war. Does it suck? Yeah, but are people gonna get hurt when two super beings get together and fight?
That's not the
Yeah.
problem I have. First of all, refresh my memory on Superman.
A lot of
Or
people
Man
were
of Steel.
thinking
Refresh my memory. No, no, no. In terms of like Zod, he came there with other people. What happened to them?
uh, they all well, he Superman fought a bunch of them, like in the streets of Metropolis and in Smallville, I guess. And then the world engine thingy mabobber, he threw or they primed the one of the ships to basically create like a black hole and suck it within itself. So when he did that, they were apparently all on board except for Zod, and then that was that last scene
Hmm.
where that last fight scene between him and Zod. But
Okay.
one
No,
one
my
thing I
problem was the fact that he goes through all that. Obviously, he's aware that he's killing a crap ton of people during this fight, but then he just like freaks out and breaks down when he has to kill Zod. That's not. I mean, and Zod's just getting ready to kill three people. It's like, oh, three more people on top of the tens of thousands you already killed. That's going to really, really hit the soul there.
well
No, it's just like,
that you gotta put it in. I mean, if we're talking like realistic perspective here, okay, so he's flying around and getting smashed through buildings, and a lot of these people, if any, I mean, they could have evacuated. We don't know. They didn't tell us exactly what happened, so we're just assuming that people were stuck in these buildings and stuff happened,
this
right?
battle took
So,
effect. I mean, there's no time for evacuation. This battle just kind of happened.
well, when a fucking spaceship lands and Zod goes, give me this guy or I'm gonna fucking kill everyone, you would find a bunker, I would think. But there's a huge difference between buildings collapsing on people and it being in mid-fight and trying to fight for your life and people dying next to you, but you don't really see it, versus you got Zod right in front of you with a family. He's about to kill them right in front of your eyes. And Superman has had it up to here. He's tried to just go the pacifist, well, not pacifist, but you know what I mean, like non-murdering route. And he just reaches a point to where he can't witness any more death and just snaps his neck. And I think that moment is where we got to remember, this is Man of Steel. This is an origin story. So a lot of people are like, they had a problem with him killing Zod because
Superman's
Superman's his
killed
good old boy. It's
before,
like
so I don't understand
it's
that.
it's like, well, Superman had to do that to understand why he doesn't kill in the future. It's like he was driven to that, and now he knows what it feels like to end someone else's life, and now he's totally opposed to that because he's felt it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how do you know you don't like that food if you've never tasted it, kind of thing. And like he knows his limits now, and he knows what he can do and what he can't do, and you push him into a corner, he's gonna snap your neck. He's fucking Superman.
Yeah.
And this is a darker. Obviously, we've seen with DC lately that they're willing to go a little bit darker, and I appreciate that. I like that because at the end of the day, you're fucking Superman. You're fighting a guy that's threatening to literally destroy humanity, you're gonna snap the dude's neck. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going around kicking puppies to death.
And DC kind of has to, because they just have like really good villains, and in order to really showcase a villain, you're going to have to get dark. That's why like Marvel that's why everybody's like, it's a universal thing that Marvel villains just suck, because and like especially when they did the Ultron, they turned him into a giant freaking joke. It's just like you have to.
You're never worried about it. You know the good guys are going to win.
Yeah.
And I think that's I mean, and that's kind of with all movies, but you never really, I don't know. I didn't think
Marvel, the villains won't be coming back again. In DC, I'm thinking they're going to have it set up so that these villains are going to be like reoccurring roles across multiple movies and stuff like that. Outside of Loki, every villain's pretty much a knockoff.
They're a one shot. Yeah, they're a one shot. But you know what? I think that's kind of how villains. Yeah, obviously in the comic they come back and they come back and they come back. But like for a movie, you don't need to bring some of these guys back. You don't need to bring Malekith.
It's not necessarily need to bring them back, but they can have like parts of they can have a story that stretches across multiple movies and stuff like that. Instead of having them
I think that's
right away.
I think that's what like the bigger guys like Thanos. He's kind of like, obviously he's.
Well, see, that's part of the thing with Marvel. They're working towards Thanos, and they're like, oh, we're working towards this big thing with Thanos, and these guys are just stepping stones so that the Avengers get to that point. What I'm saying is like, characters like Lex and Joker and stuff like that, they can have prominent roles across multiple movies. Lex can come back in Superman 2 or whatever, and still be a huge threat. Freaking Joker, Harley Quinn, and them will obviously probably play roles in future movies with Batman or stuff like that as well, or Superman as well. It's just like they have roles and they're great. And if you have great villains, why get rid of them? Just make them so that they, you can find ways, unless it really calls for it, you can find ways to use them again.
Well, I think that's the point. I think that none of Marvel's villains, other than Loki, have been memorable or even worth. And not even Loki. It's just Tom Hiddleston's acting. He just owns that role so well that it's people want to see him. I don't think it. Marvel just had, maybe Ultron can come back, and he does in the comics. Like they make up some shit for Ultron to come back every few years.
First, they got rid of Strucker, man. Strucker, he is an awesome villain. They could
he was wasted. Red Skull is another one we don't know. He could always come back.
That's true. Hopefully,
but I think Red Skull thing was a behind the scenes thing because that actor, forget his name, anyway, the actor that played him, he's done nothing but say like, oh, I'm done with that role, fuck that, you know what I mean? Like he's personally not wanting to come back to it, so it's kind of difficult to switch up the character so soon. So I think
Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy, they could have kept him alive.
Yeah, Ronan. Yeah. I agree with you there. Ronan definitely could have been utilized a little bit better.
Ronan, dude, he actually has. Oh man, that's just.
Yeah, Ronan's got some deep storyline stuff going on.
He does, and I'm pissed off they killed him off. And that's why I was kind of hoping that maybe that was the Space Stone. Is why I was hoping, because maybe he just got relocated somewhere. But nope, that's the Power Stone. He's pretty much dead. He's done.
So anyway, what I completely got off track. But what I liked about the trailer for Batman vs Superman was how everyone was complaining about the destruction and all the stuff that was happening in Man of Steel. Batman or Bruce Wayne feels the same way. He's witnessing this, and there's somebody even put together like a scene-by-scene analysis of what was going on in Man of Steel and all the destruction in some of the scenes from the Batman vs Superman trailer. So you can kind of see there's a part where Zod first gets his eye lasers and he's like, and he's looking around and blasting shit. And there's a scene where you see Bruce Wayne like running towards a building, and you see the laser just blast out, and cut the building in half, and it falls. And so, that idea that, look at all this destruction this alien has done. I like that they're addressing it, in a really cool way. Like, okay, yeah, we hear you. Superman and his Kryptonian buddies fucking trashed, multiple cities and flew around in all kinds of destruction. And Batman is the one that's like, yeah, this dude is fucking super powerful, and look at all the damage he's caused. He's got to be put in his place, and I'm the guy that's going to put him in his fucking place because I'm Batman. You know what I mean? So I think that was really well thought out that they did that, and they correlated the damage that Superman caused to bringing him. You see him in front of a court, in front of the whoever I don't know if it's a Senate or whatever, but you see him kind of walking up and like having to answer for the damage he caused. So I thought that was really cool that they're addressing that right away.
Yeah, I wonder how many years or the course of how many years this is going to take go over. I wonder if this is like.
It'll be. I mean, I'm assuming it'll be fairly recent because there's still controversy over Superman. If it was too far in the future, a lot of that stuff.
But I wonder if the controversy will start at the beginning and then.
Yeah. Okay, so I got spoilers for anyone that does not want to know any details about Batman vs Superman. As far as now this is pure speculation from things I've read on the internet and my own opinion. So none of this is concrete fact. But if you don't want ideas put in your head, then just fast forward a little bit. So this is my general hypothesis outline for Batman vs Superman from what I've seen in the trailer and my guess. My guess is movie starts with a lot of that questioning Superman, questioning his loyalties and the damage he's done. Batman questioning him. Batman worrying about this guy. Them going toe-to-toe a little bit, having a couple little scuffs and some battles. Lex Luthor behind the scenes pulling strings with the government and pointing the government at Batman, at Superman. Saying like he's not the guy you think he is. He's a bad guy, kind of thing. While he's experimenting with Zod's body and kryptonite, and he creates Doomsday. And then all of a sudden,
you think he creates it, huh?
I think he creates Doomsday using maybe like Kryptonian DNA from Zod.
Technically, the Kryptonians are the one who created Doomsday, right?
Oh shit! No, it's like some crazy alien race far off into somewhere. I don't remember where.
Oh, they were experimenting on Kryptonians and ended up creating Doomsday from that, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was like they would just kill. They would go out, get killed, come back. They would use that DNA, regenerate them, over and over and over to create a monster. So my thought is Lex Luthor is responsible for creating Doomsday. And then Batman and Superman kind of squash their beef because they have a much bigger bad guy at hand, literally.
What the hell is Batman going to do against Doomsday?
Man, you don't know.
He's like, Superman, I'll cheer you up from the sidelines.
Well, and then I think that's where Aquaman and Wonder Woman come in. It's like, I don't know how they're going to introduce those two characters, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be, okay, we all need to team up to beat this guy. And by the end of the movie, Lex Luthor will have lost all his hair thanks to Kryptonian poisoning or testing DNA on himself or fooling around with kryptonite or whatever.
Or was it wig the whole time?
Oh, yeah, maybe it was a wig. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's a wig. I think he loses his hair because of kryptonite. And by the end of the movie, Lex Luthor fully takes form. When we first meet him, he's going to be kind of a weird little sniveling guy, kind of like like the devil on your shoulder kind of guy, and then by the end of the movie, he's going to be fully formed as a bad guy that leads to, future movies like you were saying.
No, if this was Marvel, you know what would happen, right?
Yeah, he just
they would awaken and kill Lex Luthor.
Yeah, they would just
Doomsday would have died at the end.
Yeah, I think Doomsday will definitely die, but it's going to take a lot. So that's my general outline hypothesis for this movie, and I cannot wait to see Ben Affleck as Batman. I've been on board since he was announced as Batman. What do you think from the trailer? What stuck out to you on that one?
Seemed good, man. He had that cold stare when he was holding that girl. It's like, yeah, that's Batman. That's Batman. Fucking like, dude, who is this guy? What the hell is he doing? I gotta take this dude down. I'm like, you know what? So,
and I thought what was interesting is you've got the two closest people to the Batman and Superman characters. You've got Superman's mom, Mama Kent, and then you've got Alfred. And at least the way it plays out in the trailer, and of course trailers are cut to make you think a certain thing on purpose, right? Like everyone, like the general public doesn't even know that Doomsday is going to be in this movie,
which is good.
Which is great, which is really good because I hope that it's I hope they don't pull a Terminator and then like show you the whole movie. Like they really need to leave Doomsday.
They don't pull an Avengers 2 and show you everything that's happening through all.
Yeah, like exactly. We need to for the first time we see Doomsday, it needs to be when I sit down to watch Batman vs Superman. It doesn't need to be in a trailer.
And that's how you do a teaser, man. That's how you do trailers back in the day. That's how they used to be done.
Right. So, and this one's cut very much so to where all we're thinking about is Batman versus Superman. So I think a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the lines that we're hearing, like, I've got to destroy him. I think that's aimed towards Doomsday. I don't think that's aimed towards Superman. But anyway, I find it really, really interesting that the two characters that are close to Superman and Batman are telling them like opposing things. Like Mama Kent's like, you can be their savior, you can be everything to them, or do nothing. You don't owe these people anything. Fuck them. And then Alfred's like, you don't need to be picking on Superman. Like you're kind of being an asshole right now, Bruce. Like,
fuck, I can do whatever I want, dude.
No, you fucked up my building. You fucked up my building. I'm fucking Batman. So I think
Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, I saw the sign on the floor. Now I'm pissed. So I think that's interesting. I think, dude, I love the scene at the end where Batman flies down and pulls the doors off the Batmobile, and Batman just kind of casually stands up to like go toe to toe with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that could be a scene where he's saving Batman. Maybe his Batmobile like got jammed or something, or Doomsday threw something or something. You know what I mean? And he's saving him.
Off, man.
But if that's like a okay, let's throw down scene, like it was just so cool how Batman was just like literally like toe to toe with a god, like bring it, motherfucker, let's do this.
Yeah, I wonder how. They can't really fight because Batman would just get killed.
Well, they definitely fight because there's a scene where you see Batman in his fucking super killer armor, and he's on top of he's standing on top of Superman's chest, and he's like landing through a building. So they definitely fight.
No, like it's like I can't see a serious fight. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it'll be like Superman playing with them, and then Superman. Something happened, caught Superman off guard, and Batman got like that upper hand to do that one thing. But realistically, Batman didn't possibly hurt Superman. Nothing.
I'm totally thinking Batman's like armored suit. Superman can't see through. That's my guess, or else he would know he's Bruce Wayne like right away. He'd be like, "Oh, you're Bruce Wayne."
Oh yeah,
because he is.
He'll be to prevent that from happening in the comics and and stuff like that. So that's not a surprise there.
And there was another interesting little line where Clark Kent is looking into the Batman as a story for the Daily Planet.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is cool. So there's definitely going to be some Superman Batman animosity. I just don't think it's the entire movie. I think it's going to culminate into them having to team up to fight the bigger bad guy.
It's going to be them going at each other, and Superman's like, seriously, dude? Okay. Taking a couple like punches, yawning it off. Batman, he was like, "Okay, let me give this one to him." Oh, falls down. Batman, you defeated me. Okay, now can we get serious? And Bruce's ego will be like,
"No, I don't think so. I think we're gonna have Batman put Superman in his place for the first time, and that's
Superman in his place.
That's where Superman's gonna respect him. He's gonna be like, "All right, damn, this is a normal human."
Like, this idiot is actually trying to defeat me. You know what?
Have you seen Dark Knight Returns?
Yes, and Superman took a freaking hit from a nuke that took out the sun, that severely weakened his ass, that allowed Batman to even remotely do virtually nothing still against him. He still needed Green Arrow to freaking take down Superman.
Right, but that's the point, is that Superman is Batman is a tactician. You know what I mean? Like he can positions the chess pieces to his advantage, because obviously he's just a normal dude. Any toe-to-toe fight, he stands zero chance against Superman. So I think that's going to be the cool.
No chance.
That's going to be the cool thing, is to see Batman possibly one-up Superman or stand toe-to-toe with him and gain his respect and be like, all right, this guy's fucking
Batman
real.
doing this, and this goes through the tactician theory, because technically it's not Batman who's fighting him solo. So, but obviously, if you can get the Wonder Woman, and maybe that's how they come in, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, maybe that's how they come in. Like, he goes to them and seeks their help to go against this guy. That's the only way they can handle it. Because Wonder Woman and Aquaman can stand toe-to-toe with Superman. Batman cannot. I mean, first of all, Superman can just speed rush him and kill him. This is like the one thing that these guys could do, is just speed rush Batman and he's dead. I mean, Batman can't react fast enough to do anything against Superman. Superman technically shouldn't have got tagged by that arrow from Green Arrow, but he was so weak in Dark Knight Returns that allowed that to happen.
I thought he caught it. And then he caught it, and then it blew up in his face or something. Like, I'm pretty sure he stopped it. I haven't read it.
Either way, even that close, Superman has super fast reaction. I'm pretty sure he could have dodged that.
Yeah, but like you said, he was already
if he was at max.
And you got to remember, there's kryptonite involved too. We saw it in the trailer, so you don't know where that comes into play. You know, if Batman
Yeah,
has
that's shit.
Kryptonite line fucking
Once,
gloves, he's just pounding on him. You know, it
once
makes
again,
him.
though, that's if Superman allows that to happen. I mean, theoretically, Superman probably doesn't know about kryptonite, so he doesn't know that Batman would have it, which would give him the
Exactly.
advantage there. Yeah, I can see that there. But realistically, Superman knows about kryptonite, and he knows Bruce Wayne, Batman. He knows he'll have it. So once again, he'll just speed rush him and kill him if he was actually trying to
I
kill
don't
him.
think so. He's not gonna. I mean, fuck the
You can
motherfucker
speed
didn't. In
rush
the last movie,
Batman.
he didn't even know where he was from. Didn't know what
No. I'm talking about
the
if he
planet
did.
was.
If he did. This, I mean, what I'm saying right now is counterfactual because he doesn't know. But I'm just saying, if Superman knew who Batman was and knew about kryptonite,
Yeah, he just stayed like 50 feet in the air and hit him with lasers.
lasers, or just speed rush him. Screw it, just speed rush him, break his neck, and then get out of there before the kryptonite even affects him.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be really really interesting. The trailer like definitely. I mean, the little teaser got me excited, and this trailer got me even more excited. There's and then even more questions, which I love. I love when a trailer makes me ask questions. Like, who the fuck are the guys with the Superman patch on? Are they there?
Yeah.
Are they Superman's crew? Are they there because the government was like, yo, we need somebody to watch your ass, and these are, if you're gonna
Yeah.
be Superman, then you need to have like a guard, like a watchdog, to make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. Are they, because I just can't see Superman
I think
being okay
from the
with government military. You
the
know what I
first
mean?
trailer though kind of teased on the fact that they were that Superman was having these cult followers, right?
Yeah. There's a cult followers, and that's another thing. I think Lex Luthor is responsible for the guys in the suit, the Superman military. I think he because he's talking to the government about Superman, and I think that he has something to do with that. But then there's that scene where you see Superman kind of land like underground, and you see the guards like kneeling to him.
Yeah.
So like, is he okay with that? Is it,
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
the
Like,
weird thing too. Yeah, it's like he is enjoying being a god. It seems.
I don't know so much if he's enjoying it or if he's just come to grips with,
Yeah.
okay, like these people think that I'm more than what I am. Like, okay, I am. To these people, I'm a god, but I'm really just an alien with superpowers. And like to him,
Not
he's
saying enjoying. Yeah, not the best choice of words, but yeah, it's just like he's accepting it. It's just kind of weird,
yeah.
see Superman do
So
that.
I love that when a trailer makes me ask more questions than like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen all the way. Like, okay, who the fuck are these guys? Where does Wonder Woman show up? Where does Aquaman? I mean, they haven't even shown Aquaman yet. Like, how does this motherfucker in the ocean come to play? Like, I hope it delivers because like my expectations are really really high for this movie right now. And everything I've seen, I really really like. I don't have any major complaints with the trailer, and I think it was definitely like purposefully cut a particular way to make us think something, and I'm okay with that. That's okay. That's what trailers are there for.
Man, you know what I really hope that there's a surprise cameo by the Flash, dude. I'll be stoked.
Well, it's not the same Flash.
I don't care about. I'm not talking about that Flash. I'm just talking about from the Flash and Jim, the character. I don't care who.
Right.
I mean,
There
hopefully
might be a reference
Barry
to him or
Allen.
something.
No, not from CW Flash. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good for what that show is, but I do not want that Flash in this universe.
Yeah, it's too bubbly
campy.
and light. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
All right.
But
So we spent a lot of time on DC.
actually, one more thing I got to say, man. Speed rules in the DC universe. So once again, said it before, Flash is the most powerful character in the DC universe. Screw Superman. Moving on.
Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree.
Oh no, we'll agree to agree.
No, because Superman would fucking never.
No, we've been over this, dude.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Speed still. We're done. You can't beat that.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. Okay, so let's move on to Marvel. We'll touch on the things that they didn't show the trailers for.
Well, how are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do like Marvel Studios, Fox, and
let's start with X-Men Apocalypse.
all right, Fox it is.
So they didn't release a trailer, but there was a leaked version of it. So I don't really want to go too much into detail. I'll say I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that Apocalypse looks really goofy, and kind of campy.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried because I also wasn't like the biggest fan of Days of Future Past. I thought there was a lot of missed opportunity in that movie, and it wasn't bad, but I wasn't sold on it. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is great. This is the X-Men movie, or this is a movie that we've all been waiting for, kind of thing. I think Fox still really sucks at making movies with the X-Men.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, but for the most part, Mike, I mean, with the Comic-Con trailers, we can't say that, and that's one reason why they, these companies try not to get this stuff leaked or get kind of furious how they leak, because people judge them like as a final product, and you gotta keep in mind, the effects and everything are done, so stuff's going to improve. So, I mean, for now, it is what it is, and I'll reserve that for the officially released trailers to determine.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to say too much. I mean, I'm definitely excited about the storyline because I like Apocalypse, and it involves a whole lot of people, and I'm really interested to see this new breed of, pun intended, of X-Men actors kind of take the reins from what we've kind of grown up with since 2000 with X-Men, as far as like Jean Grey, Professor X, Mystique. We've got all new actors and actresses, and I'm really curious to see how they do and how this turns out.
Okay, so I'm not even familiar with the Apocalypse storyline. What's so special about Apocalypse, anyways?
He's the original mutant.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. Outside of that, but what's his powers? What makes him such a threat?
Everything. He's got fucking super strength. He's got like partial like telekinesis powers. He's fucking laser. I mean, you name it. He's like a fucking Swiss Army knife.
Okay, all right.
He's kind of like a mutant god because he's been around. Think of him kind of like Dracula almost. Like he's been around for so long. And he's evolved over years and years and years to be just stronger and more powerful over time.
Okay.
And he's got he has like the four horsemen. Like Angel was one of his four horsemen, and it's the comics have obviously done different renditions of it, and I'm not like 100% familiar with all the different renditions, but he has a way of controlling other mutants to, be his little minions, and he grants them like augmented powers. So like Angel, he gave I don't know if it was adamantium or it was some kind of metal wings.
Okay. The Horsemen of the Apocalypse, then, right?
Yeah. So he augments their powers to be even greater than what they are to suit his needs, and turns them bluish. Remember when Angel in the 90s had that like really cool looking blue suit, and then his face was blue and his wings were metal?
Not really.
Well, it's like the iconic like 90s X-Men when Wolverine's suit was like yellow and blue. That's because Angel tangled with being a horseman.
Yeah. So when he's finished, when you're not a horseman anymore, you still keep all the stuff you gained?
In the comics, some of them did. They retained some of those powers, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. So
what's his motivation? What's he trying to do? Take over the world?
I guess he's just trying to eradicate, almost kind of like a Magneto kind of storyline. Like, the mutants are the future, and humans are just, waste. They're just,
the next. Why does Magneto just team up with them?
He may. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know how you can stop that. Then you got Magneto and Apocalypse all teamed up with his horsemen and stuff like that. How in the hell do you even stop him with young X-Men?
Well, motherfucking Wolverine.
I guess, right?
He'll figure out a way.
According to everybody, Wolverine can take on freaking Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor. So who's Apocalypse and freaking
Well, that's one thing that I like about Wolverine is that, like, even in the comics, like, yeah, he's a bad motherfucker, but like he gets his ass kicked a lot. He's just like,
people think he can take on Spider-Man. It's like, no, he can't take on Spider-Man because Spider-Man can knock his ass out with one punch.
Okay, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on something.
Oh my God, here we are again. He cannot tag Spider-Man, dude.
He's got adamantium skeletons.
He can't tag. He's been knocked out so many times, though. You can knock him out. Spider-Man hits like a freaking truck. Literally, he can knock Wolverine out, dude. Okay, he can lift 20 tons. He can knock Wolverine out with one freaking punch. And Wolverine, he's too fast for Wolverine. And Spidey says he cannot tag him. Well,
Yeah,
he
no,
has
but
so many ways he can take
Wolverine's
out
Wolverine's
Wolverine.
got that fucking heightened animal sense. He can smell that
Doesn't matter.
motherfucker
He's not
coming.
fast enough to freaking dodge attack from Spider-Man. But Spider-Man can easily dodge his attack, and not the fact that Spider-Man's beat him multiple times in the comic. But
But
either
yeah, he has, but that's only because Wolverine can't kill Spider-Man because he's too
no, it doesn't
prized
matter.
of a
Wolverine
character.
doesn't matter. Spider-Man can't kill Wolverine. All right, first of all. Second of all,
That's not true. They just
Spider-Man.
killed. I think they killed Peter Parker too, but they just killed Wolverine. He's gone.
No, I mean, Spider-Man can't doesn't like Spider-Man doesn't kill Wolverine. Is what I'm getting at. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
they don't try to kill each other anyways. So that's a moot point.
Right.
All right, but either way, if they try to kill each other, I mean, Wolverine theoretically won't be able to kill Spider-Man. I don't know how if Spider-Man can kill Wolverine. I'm not going to argue that, but Spider-Man could definitely KO or just disable Wolverine with his webs. He's done that before as well too. So,
All right. Well, speaking
moving
of
on.
killing motherfuckers, Deadpool.
Deadpool. Oh yeah.
Uh,
You talk about him being killed in the comics, or
no, I'm just talking about killing motherfuckers because you know Deadpool's going to be killing motherfuckers. Obviously, it was confirmed earlier Deadpool is going to be rated R. They've been doing a lot of like viral kind of stuff with Ryan Reynolds. They did a trailer, same thing. They didn't release it online, but it was leaked, and it looks amazing.
oh yeah. This is the win of Comic Con, in my opinion.
I have a hard time deciding what I'm more excited for, and between Batman, Superman, Suicide Squad, and Deadpool. I think Deadpool is going to end up being one of the most entertaining movies, comic movies ever.
See, I'm more excited about Deadpool just because it's going to be so different. Like, we've seen a lot of broady, dark stuff,
Right.
even animated movies, cinematic universes. We got the super campy stuff from Marvel, all that kind of stuff. Now, we got something that's completely different. And this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm with you. It is going to be completely different than what we're used to seeing, and it's going to be rated R. The character, and even the director said it, that this movie is the most true to form comic movie that's ever been made, and that's a pretty bold statement for somebody to say that, because a lot of times when someone's asked, well, how close did you stick to the comics for this character? They're like, well, there's some things that we had to adapt to the movie, and even Marvel did it with the cinematic universe. They were like, well, the cinematic universe is different than the comic universe. We're going to borrow ideas
A lot
and do
more
things.
grounded.
But it's obviously, and I understand that you're taking literally years of storylines and character history, and you're sticking it in a 2-hour movie. So I get that, but for a director to just flat out say, like, this is the Deadpool that you know and love from the comics, then with his confidence and Ryan Reynolds behind the mask making fucking jokes, I'm in. I'm so down.
Mm.
And the trailer, again, it's not the greatest of quality. It's leaked out there. I don't know if they've removed it yet, but even the shit cell phone recorded trailer got me really excited for it. It looks awesome.
Oh yeah, got all the crazy meta humor too. So I was excited about that when he said, he's like, "Please don't make the super suit green or animated."
Exactly. And I love that about Ryan Reynolds too, because he's cracking on himself. And I love that. What's his name from Silicon Valley is in it. I didn't even know that he was in it until I saw the panel at Comic-Con.
Yeah, hopefully he's not hopefully it's not a small role like it was in freaking Transformers.
He was in Transformers?
Yeah, the most recent one, was it Age of Extinction?
Oh yeah, you're right. He was.
He was in for like the beginning, and then he died.
Oh, what a terrible movie!
Spoiler alert.
Okay, so we got Deadpool. What else did we get from Marvel?
We got Colossus in Deadpool.
Yeah, Colossus is going to be in Deadpool. Yeah.
That was awesome. And
Mega Teenage War. Mega. Shit, what is it? Mega Teenage Warhead.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Mega Teenage Warhead. That's it. Yeah. Something like that. Who else we got? As far as cameos.
In the freaking the way they did his face when he was after the whole procedure and stuff like that. It's pretty damn good. Pretty damn the disfigurement of Deadpool.
Yeah. I think it all.
It was like an avocado had sex with an over avocado. It seems like for the the sign of his face.
Would he say something about Freddy Krueger? He's like, you look like Freddy Krueger, something like a fucking train hit Freddy Krueger, so shit.
Something like that.
So, and I'm really curious to see how they break the fourth wall because Deadpool. For those that aren't familiar with Deadpool, he's the only comic character that knows he's a comic character, and quite frequently in the comics he will address the reader directly, which is really funny in comics, and it plays really well in comics. In a movie, though, I'm really curious to see how they do that because
good idea from the leaked footage, from the leaked test footage. You did a really good job there.
Yeah, and I can see it in scenes like that. But we're going to tell basically that we're going to tell another origin story. We're going to tell an origin story of Deadpool. So does he? I wonder if he's going to address the camera before he becomes Deadpool. Obviously more witty and funny, like a House of Cards kind of thing. Is he going to turn and look and say like silly shit? Make it kind of like comic-y, and then he carries that over to Deadpool, or is that going to be a thing after he becomes Deadpool and he's like, oh shit, I'm in a movie.
I thought it was after the whole procedure because like his brain gets jacked up is the reason why with the cancer in his brain and all that kind of stuff, and they do the procedure and it's constantly repairing and stuff. So I thought that was. His whole persona was created after the.
It could be, yeah.
Or during, at least maybe during the once things start to deteriorate, at least.
Right, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, either way, I'm excited for that movie. I think it's going to be really, really good. What else we got from Marvel? Was there anything else?
Oh, let's see.
I think they had Ant-Man stuff, but that's about
it. Star Wars stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big Star Wars stuff. They showed a like a behind-the-scenes thing. Not a whole lot of new information, which is fine because the movie doesn't come out until December.
Mm-hmm.
So not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, they got all three of the original back on stage all together. I'm man, you know me. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I even like the prequels. I like the games, the comics. I read all the novels. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fucking diehard. So I'm down. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a diehard, but I'll probably go see the movie within a week or two when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
I know you'll be there day one, waiting 5 hours before it started, running the line, cosplaying as Han Solo.
No, I don't cosplay. But if I were, it'd be Darth Vader. I mean, come on.
Okay.
I do have a lightsaber. I'll just bring that.
Yeah, you will bring the lightsaber. You'll probably be out there having lightsaber.
Yeah, we picket fights with little kids.
Oh my god!
I will duel you for your seat, for your place in line. Yeah, I'll definitely be seeing that. I mean, I'm really excited for all the movies and stuff we got coming up. I mean, it's.
Are you going to see Ant-Man tomorrow?
Oh yeah, it does come out tomorrow, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't know if I'll see it tomorrow, but I'll probably check it out Sunday or Monday.
Oh really? What kind of comic book fan are you?
I mean, I want to see it, but with work and a bunch of other stuff I got going on here at the house.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you know what? I'm disappointed. Nick Ball will be disappointed. He'll be angry right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things. That was another movie that I was talking all kinds of shit about, and then after I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what? I think Marvel understands how stupid Ant-Man is. Because I mean, let's be honest. He's a dumbass character. Like, just
wait, hold on. Ant-Man's a great character. I mean, the concept is dumb.
Hank Pym in the comics is a good character because of his intellect and his interweaving storyline with all the other characters and the things that he in the comics, he's the one that actually creates Ultron. So like he's got
Ultron's a part of his mental mapping. His,
right. So Hank Pym himself, but as far as like Ant-Man, like okay, you can shrink yourself and retain your strength and talk to ants.
He can grow too, dude. So
he can grow. Like, all right, whatever, motherfucker. You got some dumbass powers.
That's not a dumb power. That's actually legitimate power, man. Being able to shrink and grow, you can be able to do espionage, recon. You can grow and become a crazy.
You know how many dick jokes are in there? Like, it's so dumb. But I appreciate that Marvel is tackling it, giving him his own standalone movie, and apparently it's really funny. Like they make it, it's like a superhero comedy, which I think is good. I really like that they're tailoring these movies to these specific characters lately. Like with Deadpool, they know it's got to be rated R. You know there's got to be blood and guts and death and cussing and really fucking raunchy jokes and stupid shit and addressing the audience. You know, like they're tailoring these things to the specific characters. Ant-Man, they know, is kind of a silly superhero to begin with, so it's like, all right, well, let's make the movie funny, you know. So I think they're doing a good.
I don't think he's done yet. So, but what I'm thinking is towards the end, and you know, well, this is possibly a spoiler. Now, this is just my speculation. I haven't read anything or seen anything about the movie or stuff like that. I haven't read spoilers. But I'm thinking towards the end they're going to show him growing, because all they showed him so far was just him shrinking,
right,
and stuff. But I think they're going to actually show him growing, like at the end.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like,
sure.
he's going to go huge.
He'll be like, yeah, it'll be like the end of the movie where he's like, hey, look, I figured out something new.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Hopefully they don't do like the whole. There's like Avengers animated movie that a while back, and I don't know, maybe it was based also in the comics, but he like couldn't grow or he wasn't conditioned to grow or something like that. So when he tried to grow, he ended up killing himself. That was really stupid.
Yeah. That was. I think that was based on the Ultimate storyline.
Okay, so yeah. And then we're gonna hopefully get well, no spoiler, I guess, but hopefully we get Wasp out of this as well, which would be cool.
All right, what else we got from Comic-Con? I know there was a bunch of other stuff. Obviously.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter 5. They revealed Ken.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5 can't, which I'm still pissed because it's a PlayStation exclusive, and they're having so many problems.
PC as well, man.
Yeah, whatever. PC and PlayStation, fuck them.
Yeah, get a PC. You already got a gaming PC somewhere. Just
I will not buy it on PC. I will not. No. The reason I got Xbox was because of how awesome Xbox Live is, and
you got Xbox 360, dude.
Huh? I got
Xbox One now?
Yeah, I got an Xbox One.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, you should got a PS4 then, I guess.
Yeah, no way. They can suck a dick. I'll keep playing. When we get to our Guru Gotta Have It, I'll keep playing my Guru Gotta Have It because it's fucking amazing.
Mortal Kombat X.
No. I'll tell you when we get to the Guru Gotta Have It.
Mortal Kombat X game's pretty awesome.
Apparently, they showed a World of Warcraft trailer. It was confusing because some people didn't understand how that works, and I'm one of them.
A movie?
Yeah, the Warcraft movie, World of Warcraft.
Huh.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, you got stories, so I don't understand how that. I mean, it can work. It's probably just not like. I don't know.
Well, apparently, it's like the trailer confused people because it assumes that you know the kind of the backstory to World of Warcraft.
Well, once again, it's a trailer at Comic-Con, so the people who were probably attending that did probably know about the backstory.
Yeah, true, absolutely, and I didn't see it.
That's the one thing we got to keep remembering. That's why they don't like to leak these stuff because
right?
It's tailored to show everything. Yeah,
it's tailored for the fucking nerds. You fucking nerds, all you fucking nerds. All right, so what else we got? Anything else from Comic-Con of note that we should talk about real quick before we wrap this up?
No, I think that's pretty much it, man.
All right, well, let's do Guru Gotta Have It, Gotta Trash It. What you got going on this week?
I want to say Guru Gotta Have It. It's going to be two things. First of all, Project 5, we already talked about it. Just give it a shot. The concept, everything seems pretty good. And, the limited time I used it worked out pretty well. So, only downside is, not downside, but the only caveat is you got to go with a Nexus 6 and Android to use it. But if you're in the Android ecosystem and you like a big ass phone, then give it a shot. And then, or request an invite, I guess, and hopefully you can give it a shot soon. And then the last thing is News 360. So I was looking for a new news aggregator app and stumbled upon this. It's been out for a while now, so I finally got around to it. I used to use like Zite and Feedly and Flipboard and all that kind of stuff too. So this one works out really well. It's white Zite, so it takes all the whole you select your interests, do likes and dislikes, and uses the algorithm to help grab more stuff that interests you. And so far, it's been doing a great job. So it was a really good app, constantly updated. The site was bought out by Flipboard, so they stopped getting updates like last year. So it's a great app on both Android and web, or Android, iOS, and web. So you got a few different options there, and just give it a shot. Enjoy it.
Oh, nice. I didn't know about that. I'm going to download it and try it.
Oh, yeah.
I use Feedly right now, which I'm like Google Reader. I just got so used to using Google Reader that when they killed it, I was so depressed. And Feedly finally got to a place to where it was semi like Google Reader.
I mean, Feedly's great for what it is, for like customizing your own what you see and stuff like that. But the problem with Feedly, I mean, I still use it. It's just that this is designed to find stuff that you might not, it's kind of like stumbled upon, but more geared towards news and stuff like that. So it's going to find stuff that you're not like kind of looking at, that you don't have in your feed and stuff like that. It's designed to
I gotcha.
Okay. Sources and stuff like that. So you come across new stuff, interesting articles that otherwise I would never. Like that's one thing I love about the site. It would bring up stuff that I would never have looked at because I didn't have those news sources in Feedly. So
yeah, and that's what I like about Feedly is and that's what I liked about Google Reader was I could just go and read my specific feeds. Like if I like a source enough and they post like stuff that I enjoy, then I'll add them. Otherwise, I find stuff on when people post things on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. So but I'll give it a shot.
Yes, I use them both. That's what I do. So I use Feedly to do all the stuff I want to just play. If I just want to read stuff from my favorite sites and stuff like that I know I will enjoy, I go to Feedly. If I want to see what's happening, what's new, then I'll open up News 360 and just kind of scroll through that.
Gotcha.
Discovery. Yep.
All right. Well, my Guru Gotta Have It this week is Elder Scrolls Online for Xbox One.
You actually play the game?
Yeah. So when it first came out on PC, yeah, it's free to play. Yeah.
Oh, finally. Okay.
So when it first came out, it wasn't free to play. It was only PC, and it got kind of like lukewarm reviews. The general consensus was if you liked games like Skyrim. So okay, let's start over. The promise of this game was if you liked Skyrim, or you liked those like Skyrim, Oblivion, if you like the Elder Scrolls single player games, and you wanted more out of it, then this was the game for you because it offers you the ability to play solo, but also a way to play with other people and experience like an MMO style kind of play. And the general consensus was it kind of failed on both sides. It kind of failed as an individual game where you could go out and do things on your own, and it failed as a MMO because I don't know because I don't play it. Yeah, so the two didn't merge. Well, that was a year ago. They spent the last year addressing all of this stuff, and they released an update for PC, and then it coincided with the release for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And they renamed it, and it's just called Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited. And as far as I can tell, I read reviews and stuff before I bought it because I was sold when they were like, only sold online. I was like, oh my god, I gotta buy it, and then I started reading the reviews. It was free to play though. It is free to play.
But you just said you bought it.
No, I mean you buy the game, you pay for the game.
That's buy to play, man. It's not free to play.
Oh, whatever. There's no monthly subscription.
Okay, but yeah, that's buy to play. Buy to play, you buy the game and then you don't pay anything afterwards.
Okay, so yeah, whatever. It's a regular fucking video game that you pay for and play. And so I read the reviews for the updated version, and nothing but positive. So I was like, all right, let me buy it. So I bought it, and I've been playing it for the last 2 weeks, and I gotta say, it is the blending of both worlds. It's really, really good. You can play it completely solo. Obviously, there are things in it that are going to be more difficult. Like the world, the map is huge. It is insanely big. Like just the scope of this game is just ridiculously big. And you start going and you're doing some quests over here, and you kind of start exploring, and you go a little further, and you're going to run into some trouble. You might hit an area that you're not leveled up enough for yet. And obviously, if you were hanging out with a group of people, it would make it easier. But you can totally do it solo without having to do all that. There are specific like dungeons or I don't know what they're fucking called in MMOs, but like where you like caves and shit you wander in. Raids, yeah. There's like specific things that you can do that are only group, where you can only enter it if it is a group, and it's it's very tough even with a group. And then there's tons of just fucking tons and tons and tons of side quests and stuff to do, and there's different guilds. There's a mages guild, there's a fighters guild, there's all this really really cool stuff to do.
How's the combat?
Combat is awesome. It's just like Skyrim, except with like way more abilities. You have instead of just having like a little bit of magic or like just a sword and a shield. Like you have passive abilities, you have active abilities, you have quick toggles. You can have two weapons once you hit level 15. If you like, I'm a sword guy. I like the two-handed sword, so I don't rock the shield and the sword. I just have like a big ass sword. But that's great because I like to fight up close. But in the situations where I might want to fight further away, I can quick swap to a bow and arrow and have that. So it's the combat is awesome. It is really, really good.
And so is that like what, Star Wars: The Old Republic or
No, it's
World
not
War
turn-based.
Conquest?
It's not like quasi turn-based at all. It is completely free action. You can dodge, you can roll, so you're not just like taking a hit and then like it's not just based on like your hit point. Obviously, you have gear that gives you a defense rating, and then you have a weapon that gives you an attack rating. But you can, if a guy is about to do this like big attack, and you're standing in front of him, you can roll out the fucking way and then hit him in the back, and then, you know what I mean. So it's like it's a very actiony fighting style, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I can't recommend it enough. I'm having so much fun fucking playing it. I love it. It's really, really good. It addresses all the concerns that I've read about. I obviously didn't play the game before, and I haven't noticed a single time where I'm like, damn, this sucks. I mean, and it's so cool too because you're like running around and you're like doing stuff, and I'll be off in one area and I'll be fighting so and so, and then there'll be like 4 or 5 just like random people hanging out. And they'll just jump in and start beating up whoever I'm beating up, trying to help. And so there's stuff like that where it's like, if you were playing Skyrim or something solo, that would never happen. And then you could be like, hey, thanks, man. And, you can group up with those people if you want. They have a really good group finder in there. So if you do have a dungeon that you have to go in that's a group, you can easily find people to group up with real quick. I guess my only complaint about it would be because it's on Xbox, there is no text chat. You have like quick toggles for different emotes and different sayings, and the sayings do pop up above your head. So it's like if you say like, do you guys want to group up? You'll have a little text box that pops up above your character's head that says, do you want to group up? But as far as like text chat, there's no text chat. It's all voice chat, and it can be annoying if you're hanging out in like just the towns, because you hear every single person that's in that particular city at that time.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like a blessing and a curse because sometimes it's really cool. Like the other day, I was hanging out and there was this guy that was just like, so and so armor for sale, so and so armor for sale. If anybody wants this particular piece of armor, I can make it for you. And I was like, well, shit, I'm a pretty low level dude right now. I just started playing the game and my armor all sucks. So yeah, like hook me up, son. And he was like, all right, hold on, what do you want? And I was like, oh, I want this piece, I want that piece. And he was like, all right, it's this amount of money, and it's whatever in-game currency, gold, not real money, of course. And I was like, all right, cool. And then they have a really cool like exchange thing. So like he puts up on his screen what he's offering, and then I put up what I'm offering as far as money, and then you both have to agree to it. So it's really cool. You can trade with people. They have guilds. So like if you have like a group of friends that are all in a guild, you can have an exclusive store just for that guild where you buy and sell and trade to each other. And like it's just so deep, so fun. I can see myself playing this for a long time.
Sounds like a good game.
Yeah, it is.
Cross-platform, so can you like play against people on PC?
I have no idea. Oh, and there's PvP in there too, which I haven't even started to fuck with because
Are you on a PvP server?
It's like its own like little thing. It's really cool. Like it's not necessarily like, I mean, I guess it is a particular server. Like you join a like a pact, they call it, and then that's like your PvP server. But you can switch it if you want to and like move it around. I haven't even messed with it though. I haven't even done any. I'm so low level. I'm still like, I think I'm like a level 18 or something like that. So I'm not. I've only been able to play it like a couple hours a night. So it's not like I got to really like dig. There was a couple of days I got to play like 5-6 hours. I just sat here on the couch and played this motherfucker on the weekend.
Wait, so like PvP then in the game, they don't have like a dedicated PvP server where because it's like different alliances, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think when you
go
into that map, The map itself is its own dedicated server.
Yeah, but like if you walk across somebody on a different alliance, you can't just attack them.
Within that city, yes.
But
So like
anywhere else,
yeah.
no.
So say you're just wandering around like trying to quest, you can't just get beat down by some dude.
Okay, well, see, so I'm wondering because are you sure there's like no PvP servers where that can happen?
They're not within
Like,
the main game. No, the PvP is completely self-contained within its own
so it's
city.
not like WoW or like your other game with Knights of the Old Republic where they had dedicated PvP servers where people could just attack each other at any given moment.
Right. Yeah, like if you're hanging out in town or you're just like playing the actual game, there's no PvP, which I like. I think that's a good move. Like if you want to do PvP, cool, and it's huge. Like the PvP area is enormous. Like I can't just like state how big this game is. The PvP section is one giant section of that was one whole game at one point. It's the Citadel, which is just like one whole section. Like it's huge. Like it would take you an hour to walk across the whole motherfucker. Like it's huge. And then within that, there's like different, like capture the flag or like that kind of stuff. And there's like all kinds of different stuff, which again I don't know too much about because I haven't really fucked with it. But because like I said, I'm only level 18. I'm a little wuss, so I'm not gonna go in there and try and fucking. And they have like battering rams and trebuchets and fucking harpoons and shit. Like there's all these like really cool big ass weapons to like overtake their forts and stuff. So it looks really cool as far as PvP goes. I just haven't messed with it, but
you be role playing?
Say what?
I said, do you be role playing?
Role playing?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like like those they have those role playing servers and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that since there's like one mega server, do you guys like role play together? Like, I don't know. You have people in there that role play, or do you role play as like a different character, as your character, or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
Dude, you do not know what role playing is. It's taking on the character or acting as if you were that character.
No, I'm a fucking adult, man. I don't do that shit. I play the video game.
Oh man, that would have been hilarious if you did, dude.
I'm Mike, and I play the fucking video game as my guy. That's what I do.
I'm just saying that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, no, there's no. I don't take this shit that seriously. No, I actually have turned off voice chat 90% of the time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there are times where I have it on, like in the main cities around like the blacksmiths and like the people that sell shit, because they always like sometimes they have like cool stuff for sale or something like that. But I don't. I don't. That's why I really wanted this game, because I really like Skyrim, but I'm like super antisocial on the internet. Like unless I know the person that I'm playing with, I'm not like, oh hey, let's all group up. And that's one thing I like about this game. They make it really easy for someone like me that's like, fuck these guys, I don't really want to play. Oh, but I got to, because it's a group dungeon. I can be like, hey, who wants to fucking group up, and then group up with these guys. And if
you're DPS, right?
Is that what?
You're a DPS character.
The fuck is that?
Damage per second, man. Your main focus is damage. You're the one who deals the damage in the group for your character. Like there's a tank, there's healers.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm the guy with the fucking sword.
I'm assuming DPS or maybe assassin, right? Yeah, the DPS still be DPS.
Yeah, I'm more of like a general attack character. I don't have.
You're just attacking, right?
Yeah, I don't have. I'm not I made just kind of like a.
Very know these terms, and you're playing an MMO.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's one of those games that's nice. Like I'm not an MMO nerd, and this game.
Nerd, but it's like,
no, I know, but I've never played.
MMO, you learn what a DPS is. It's like,
I'm saying I've never played an MMO where I've had to actually work with other people. The only other MMO I've ever played was Knights of the Old Republic, and I played that motherfucker solo.
You should know what DPS is, because when you're doing a group, you soloed.
Yeah, I soloed and then I could just stop playing. I got bored and quit playing.
The moment you look for a group, they're going to ask, are you DPS? And you're like, if you're DPS or not.
What is that, like down to fuck? I don't know. I don't understand your internet lingo, guys. Look at here. I have a giant sword, and I'm going to hit somebody in the face with it until they die. One of you motherfuckers. I was
really hoping you would be a role player, dude, because then I would just freaking join your game and just like give you hell. Like this one dude in our tribe on Art, like was role play. So dude pissed me off so much that I just took his body and trained him, and then just kept his ass narked for like an hour straight. So he couldn't do anything. Except over here crying, "Who's got me knocked out? Why can't I move?" And it's, oh my god, it was hilarious.
So you roofied some random dude on the internet?
I know. I did some role playing douchebag who was annoying everybody on the internet. I fucking hate role players.
Oh, all right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Tell everybody where they get a hold of you.
You can hold me at thinkofgadgetgears.net. Hit me up on Twitter at beatup722. Unless you're a role playing douchebag, then just stay away from me because I hate you.
All right, you can find me MobileMike01 on Twitter. You can send the podcast an email, podcast@thegadgetgears.net. This is Gadget Gears Podcast, episode number 251, and we are out.
Laters.